her delight in me, her love for me. I can't call. I won't hear her beautiful voice happy to hear me. I won't hear her laughter, her sighs, her sensual power, her softness, her playfulness. I won't hear her love for me. We tried and tried and tried and tried, but we just couldn't make it work. Well, actually, we did the same things over and over again, hoping for a different outcome. That was really smart. We never brought in a professional, one trained to help us see and help us do what could work. At the time, I thought we had the possibility of a very powerful and loving relationship. There were so many wonderful things that worked individually and together. There were so many wonderful positive parts of our lives. When it was good, yes, it was so good. So loving, so much fun, so inspiring, so filled with possibility, so filled with God. It was so much fun. We were so fortunate to have this, to be in this dance with God. And then, like clockwork, she would change. Withdraw from me. Exclude me. Overnight. Have you ever had a relationship with someone like this? It's crazy making. You wonder what the hell happened. 1 minute it's bliss, euphoria, passion, love. What must be love? And then the next time you see her or hear her voice, there's this other person. Not the one you held and kissed and caressed all night. Not the one you made love with till dawn. Not the one who kissed you and ravished you and all night, all morning. Not the one you laughed with and played with and stared at and played sensual games with. Not the one who lit your fire. Not an absolute god, goddess, but someone else. Someone who looks at you like you are the enemy. Someone who can't remember what you just shared, what you both experienced. Someone who can't recall the passion and the joy and the love you shared. Someone who doesn't want to see you anymore, ever. Someone whose voice changes into one so unpleasant. Someone whose violence and rage consumes her. Who cruelly insults you. Who threatens you with the same power that she once used for loving you. She says she's only been using you. This is not love. This is not normal behavior. It isn't. But what can you do? You can't leave. You can't. Not yet. You can't. Not yet. She won't talk about it. won't talk to you anymore, period. For several days, several weeks, even several months at times. It's as if she's possessed. You ask her to get help, and she says that you are insane. Yeah. Looking back, I was insane to be in that relationship. But I love this woman. I always thought that it would get better. You know, if we could only talk about it. What happens? What's the fear? What's the reason for the extreme change? But she won't. And you never really know. Oh, you guess, you surmise, but it's not the same as a diagnosis. That's why it's so professional to call in a professional. It's so important. If not, take it from me, you have nothing. Don't go back for one more good time. One more beautiful day. One more beautiful week. One more beautiful month. It'll never change until she gets help. And she has taken you hostage. This is not love. No, love would never do this to you. This is not a healthy relationship, and you will die. Day by day. Little by little. Inside. Oh, you love this woman with all your heart. But you will never have her. Ever. Tell your mind that. Oh, it thinks that somehow it'll all turn out in time. But the pain and the sadness and the rejection and the longing are very destructive to your life, to your heart. You end up sitting in meetings, listening to women just like you who have fallen in love with women just like her. You think it's your strength and your ability to love unconditionally, patiently, that keeps you involved with her. Prayer seems to help, and yet, ooh, sometimes your ways are so hard. You pray for release from her voice, her face, her presence, her wonderful ways. You don't see her for weeks, even months at times, except every day in your mind. And finally, she calls. And you think it's prayer answered at last. And once again, you fall into her arms. You're swept away in her passion. For days, weeks, until once again, like clockwork, you can't call anymore. You pray for someone new. Oh, please help me escape. You are a prisoner. You are. You imagine her being with you as you enjoy parts of your day. Oh, how lovely it would be to enjoy them together, like you did with your other lovers, the ones who loved you and showed it. The ones who weren't afraid of the nothing. The ones you had a seemingly normal relationship with. The ones not ever consumed by rage. But not this one. This one is so afraid. And you see it, and you know it, and you are so helpless to do anything to change it. And in your mind, and in letters, and in one of the many last phone calls, you call it quits and say, oh, well, next. But you are learning that relationships have a life of their own. They are over when they are over. And you are learning about a subject you never knew you needed to learn. And on a rainy day like today, you wonder if she's thinking about you, if she's hoping that you would be the one to call first. But you've learned the hard way. If you do, most likely, the monster, the Mr. Hyde, will answer the phone. And it will hurt worse than imagining her missing you and wanting to be in your arms once again on a rainy